bringing you the latest news from Coronado Athletics. This is the Mustang Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Good Monday afternoon, evening. I've lost track, Brad Bibb. Brad Bibb from Coronado is with me here. I was just explaining to him that my body and my mind are tired of being in a car driving around Central and South Texas for 3 or 4 days. So I was glad to come home and just rest. I'm glad I put this on Facebook and Twitter today. This is one of my favorite weeks of the baseball season.
It absolutely is.
Classic. Yep. It's just a fun event. All 7 public school teams now are there because Liberty's there. You just get to see a lot of good baseball. I get to see, I think, all 7 teams play this week at some point. By the way, this is 100.7 The Score. This is High School Fan Zone. This is a Mustang Fan Zone. I keep forgetting to I buried the lead a little bit there. This week or tonight, Monday night, I'm back. I think I was here last Monday. The weeks have all started to blur together. We are not here Wednesday. As far as I know, we're still not here Wednesday because of Tech basketball and Tech baseball. But we are here on Monday night for the 4 LISD schools. We're starting off with Brad and Coronado. 2 baseball coaches tonight, 2 basketball coaches tonight because we've got Estacado playing in the state semifinals tomorrow night. And we've got the Monterey girls who came home from San Antonio with a state championship, which is the first LISD team state championship since Tony Wagner's 2010 team won it. But you were on the team that last LISD team that played in a state championship. That was the 2011 5A state championship baseball.
Yep, it was. I'm surprised that it's been that long. But, man, what a cool experience that was. It was we had a great group of kids, and, Gary's first year here, and just all the stars lined up, and what a run. We got beaten the first game every weekend of the playoffs.
Wow.
And came back and won 2 on Saturday every week. It was amazing. It was really a cool experience.
Did you get to keep up with Monterey at all this weekend? You were pretty busy.
Yeah, I did a little bit. It's really cool to see what they did, and it's great for our district, and it's great for Jill. To be here as long as she has, and finally get to put her ring on is a really cool deal.
You know her pretty well?
I do. We both teach math, and so I've run into her at math stuff before, and so just royalty, man. I'm here with royalty tonight. It's kind of crazy,
You and Victor are building something.
We are,
but
we are.
The other 2 coaches here she glances this, and Wag especially. They're legends.
They are, absolutely.
They're coaching legends in Lubbock, in West Texas. Just what they've accomplished to build their programs. Jill didn't need a state championship to be a legend, but it sure doesn't.
It sure tops it off.
It's a nice diamond to put on top of it.
Yeah, it is.
You guys, speaking of diamonds, went to the, what do they call it, the Tall City
Tournament of Champions.
I'm thinking of basketball.
Tournament of Champions.
Which that's always an event I wanted to get to and cover, but I'm always a little bit busy that weekend with basketball. But it's you guys in Monterey. No, Monterey was there.
Yep.
And I think Lubbock Cooper has been there in the past. They were not there this year.
Right.
It's a great chance for you guys to play 5 games, and you told me against all 6A teams, including 3 from District 2 6A, which is always a bear, as Chad Reynolds will attest to. You guys went 2-3, had a couple of 1-run games. To me, it looked like you guys took some value out of that, which you come back this week and you're going to play another 5 games.
Yeah, Chad and I are going to have to compare notes at some point because we will have seen, and we saw Central last weekend, so we've seen nearly the entire district. It's really wild, but records don't always mean everything. We talked with the kids today. We struggled the first week, and I have to give our kids a ton of credit. They came in last Monday. We laid it all on the table. We asked them to I found a great quote from Clint Hurdle that was said, when things are going well, you need to be a window, and when things are going bad, you need to be a mirror. And we asked our kids to look in the mirror, and we had some things we had to work on. And they, to their credit, it's not easy for a high school kid to look and go, yeah, that's something I got to fix, and our kids did. We worked at it starting Monday last week. We had a great week, and even though the record was 2-3 this weekend, we played 5 playoff teams from last year in 6A, and it was a grind. And to beat 2 of them and be in close games with another one of them, we took a lot out of this weekend, and we talked about it today. Every metric, every number compared to the first weekend was better this weekend, and so we're really proud of our kids. We're trending in the right direction, and I think they saw a lot of hopeful signs this weekend.
You just tapped into the 10-year-old Randy memory bank there, because I was 10 years old when Clint Hurdle was on the cover of Sports Illustrated as the Royals' next. Yep. He was the phenom.
He was the thing.
He was Bobby Witt before Bobby Witt. Right. Unfortunately, it didn't tap out. Sure. He had some injury problems, but what a great guy he's been. He didn't let that derail him. Became a really good manager, and he's
awesome on Twitter right now. Too. Tons of great quotes and
great Christian.
He's really good
to people. Actually, a friend of mine, kid that I grew up with, starting in kindergarten, has gotten to know him pretty well through FCA. So
awesome.
But your guys, that's exciting for me to hear, because I know a lot of those guys from different sports from being around, and it's going to sound weird. I say this about different teams in college football all the time. Your district is better to me when Coronado's in the playoff hunt and has a chance.
Better to me too. We're trying really hard to get back there. So we played a lot of really good teams, and if we had not made some of the improvements we made, it would have been a rough weekend. When you look at it on paper, you're going, man, 5, 6, 8 playoff teams from the year before. But our kids really stepped up. We had Midland Legacy on the ropes, led them the whole game, and they scored 3 late, and we ran out of time. It's a time limit tournament, so ran out of time. And then, that was a tough game to swallow, and we could have kind of tucked our tail and gone home for the day. And we had Eastwood next, and Eastwood has picked to win that 6A district out there. And they're really good, and they jumped up on us, and we scrapped and battled and scored 4 in the last inning and walked it off. And, I think that gave us a lot of juice and let us know we could compete a little bit. So it really was. It was a really good weekend when you look at the improvements we made from the first week to this week in all 3 areas. Hitting especially, but also on the mound and defensively. We improved, and that's a really good sign headed into this week.
The one take your lumps game was against Midland High, and you and I were talking before we started. Midland High's really good.
They are. They still got a 0 in the loss column right now.
And one of those numbers on the other side of the column was beating Grapevine and a guy named Jimmy Webster, who, by the way, won a state championship last year.
And who they're still pretty good. So
I can't imagine they wouldn't be. Yeah. We're coming up on a break here. if I can get my laptop to agree with me, I'm going to call up the schedule for this week, the tournament this week, and talk about who you guys play. But I want to get you to talk. I want you to talk more about your guys and some of the guys who have started to emerge. I have a feeling there are going to be some familiar names and familiar faces. We had Camboy in not long ago when you were in, and we've had Isaiah in football, so I'm going to guess those are probably two of your guys. So this is a Monday night high school fan zone on 100.7 The Score. I'm Randy Rosetta. Reminder, we're going to go Coronado, Estacado, Lubbock High, and Monterey tonight. We'll be back after the break with more of the Mustang fan zone on 100.7 The Score.
Diving headfirst into Coronado athletics. You're listening to the Mustang Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back into the Mustang Fan Zone. I'm Randy Rosetta. I'm joined by Coronado baseball coach Brad Bibb, whose team will have 5 more games this week. 5?
5 this week.
At the First Bank Classic, all over Lubbock, but I think all of your games will be at home, correct?
No, we're at Friendship the first game.
Okay, that's right. That's one thing I liked about it is there is some crossover. Monterey and Friendship play, or Liberty and
I think Monterey and Friendship play. I think Liberty plays Monterey. I think Friendship and Cooper play.
Yes.
Lubbock High plays Estacado, so it's going to be kind of cool to
Lamar, I'm going to talk to Lamar tomorrow. His guys have sputtered a little bit, stepping up in 4A, but that was by design. Sure. They wanted to toughen up, but I think they're excited. They're young guys.
It'll be a fun weekend.
To face some of these guys. You guys don't face Liberty.
We do not. Okay. Not in this one. We scrimmage them.
And you saw
we did.
They're young, they're talented, and they've got some swagger because they did some things in the playoffs last year.
They do.
Instead of just asking you who you play, I'm going to call your schedule up right here. I've got you. Here we go. Okay, so you guys start Thursday against Seminole at your place.
Friendship before that.
Oh,
Friendship first, okay, and then Seminole at our place.
So you're getting a little bit of tradition right off the bat Thursday, because Seminole's got a lot of baseball tradition.
They do.
And then Friday you come back, Clint and Pecos at your place, and then El Paso Chapin Saturday. Yep. So busy week, and I'll say it again, this is one of my favorite weeks. It's almost like this is Lubbock High School baseball's version of the Daytona 500, because this kind of lifts the curtain on what's coming. You guys have played some games, but this is where everybody starts to see and pay attention.
Well, the great part is we don't have a district game tomorrow night, and we don't have 2 district games in this tournament like we have the last 2 years. Yep. So that makes this week exciting, in itself, because we still got another week to get ready. And so it's going to be nice to approach this tournament truly like a tournament and not have to mix and match with the district games in there. So I'm really excited about that.
Because coaches still like to tinker in these things.
Absolutely.
You get to tinker and check and test, and then when you had those district games, you don't get to do that.
It was a rough go the last couple of years with it. So we're excited about this one.
So I mentioned I want you to talk about some of your guys. Who are some of the guys that have emerged for you, especially like you said this last week? Who are some of those guys that stepped to the forefront?
Sure. Well, like I said, our offensive numbers the first week were really not very good, and I won't tell you how bad they were, but they were bad, and so we had to really put some work in this last week, and we really did. We changed our approach. We put a lot of two-strike work in, and I think our kids saw immediate dividends. I think we had 3 or 4 kids hit over 400 for the weekend. I know Campbell Stanek made the all-tournament team down there. His average was up in the 400s or 500s for the weekend with just a lot of contribution there. Ethan Montalvo is a senior for us who I think hit close to 600 this weekend, really stepped up and had a good weekend, swinging the bat with a little bit of pop too. He had a couple of extra base hits that really helped out. Isaiah Vasquez, Zarius Martinez were both over 400 for the weekend, so lots of contributions offensively. And then we had a great pitching performance from Graham Harden Friday night in the minor league park down there, which was really cool to play in against El Paso Montwood. He was just really, really, really good. And
sophomore.
Okay. Yeah, only gave up 1 hit, walked 1, struck out 9. Was just in 4 innings. It was a 4-inning game because of the run rule, and just really, really impressive. Their coach Romo, has been there for a good long time, and he was just in awe of what Graham did. So had a lot of really good individual performances, but we got a lot of contributions up and down. The Eastwood game, we bring in Jaden Vasquez off the bench, and he's catching for us part-time, and that wasn't his day to catch, and he comes in off the bench and gets a walk-off hit with 2 strikes. Just a lot of contributions from a lot of guys. And so, like you said, we're still tinkering, but we've got some pieces to tinker with, and so I'm really excited to keep trying to put those pieces together this week.
Graham was a kid who kind of made a little bit of a splash towards the end of last year. I think you had to throw him out there.
We had to pull him up this weekend. In fact, he pitched the Saturday game of the First Bank, and that was the first time we pulled him up to see, and then he pitched 3 or 4 more times. And so it's not new for him, but he's added some weight and added some strength, and he looks really good. And so we're excited to put him with our other guys. I told our kids today, I said, we've pitched well every game. I don't have any issues with our pitching. We've got to defend a little better, and we got better this weekend defensively, but if we'll keep getting better defensively and keep swinging it like we did last weekend, we're going to be in good shape.
So you start out with Friendship, who I believe you were scheduled to play last year, and something happened towards the end of last year.
We were, that's right.
And that's always, it's never not fun when Coronado and Friendship play, just because of the proximity of the schools. And you mentioned you saw a lot of playoff teams last year. You saw a playoff team right off the bat. Yeah. He's a little bit different team for Chad. We've got a lot of new faces.
But it's like I told our kids today, we played 5, 6, 8 teams last weekend, and none of those games matter, with who we're going to play in the playoffs or in our district or anything like that. And it's the same thing with Friendship. It's just another game in the weekend. And so we're excited to play them, but the results of that game doesn't really affect a whole lot else, You
might have some kids who would like to win that game.
Sure, absolutely.
Because these guys are neighborhood kids, the ones who they have seen out at Southwest and everywhere else for years. So that's going to wrap us up with Brad Bibb on the Mustang Fan Zone. I will see him soon. I may see him against Friendship on as early as Thursday, so I'll actually see him Wednesday as well. So we'll be back after the break with the Matador Fan Zone and legendary Tony Wagner.